Hey, what's up, Ken?
Dante, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm good. And so, number two, show number two.
We're show number two.
Yep, episode
I
number two.
kind of lost track.
That's right.
So
We've
this is
done
our
so
second.
many. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, and I am Dante, and who are you?
I'm Ken.
Would you be Ken by chance?
That's me.
Okay. So welcome to the Ken and Dante show. Ken gets first billing because we flipped the coin, and that coin was the Ken and Dante show coin, and it came up Ken.
That's right.
And I just made that up. So Ken, let me ask you. Can you give me an update with our movie Tall Trees?
Yes. Okay. So, as you know, the big holdup was the song. We needed the song more professionally done, and that took a little while. Had a few setbacks in that regard, but we did finally get that completed. And then because it was shot a number of years ago, how many years ago was that? 15 years ago?
17 years ago.
Oh, 15 just sounds so much. 15 sounds better than 17. I mean, now
Say
just
we could say 15.
let's say 15.
About we throw in
About
about
15 years ago.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah.
But so we shot in standard definition. So our big, cutting edge video recording equipment was standard def. And so we've just up-res that just in the last few months, up-res that to high def,
Right.
not 4K. People don't get crazy.
Okay.
Just trying to do what we can do. We're trying to make it. We're trying to do what we can for you. We went from standard def to high def, so for your enjoyment.
Cool. Now it and you kind of took a lot of this on yourself. I mean, we had a movie done. We showed it to people. Some people liked it. Some people, but you and I very proud of it. But it by what is it? Up converting to high res? Is that what we did recently? I don't know the lingo.
Yeah, we up converted to high def.
High def, not high res. High def. It's going to look better. And then we had a nagging issue with a song that you found some guys through a friend of a friend. They re-recorded
Some
the
guys.
song. Just some guys. And they did a good job. They did a good job. And now we have a more professionally recorded version of the song. And it happens to, the name of our movie is Tall Trees, which is about a song from a band. And that is the song that they re-recorded. So it's kind of a big deal.
I wasn't born to understand. I've lost my every reason.
The movie is built around a band who is built around a song, and the song is integral to the movie. And so, without that song being at a caliber that it needed to be, I didn't think the movie was finished. So,
Can we call it a redux? Tall Trees Redux? Or is that pretentious? Or
well, the thing is, we never had a ducks. There were no ducks in our film, man. So now that we have the song, we have the up-res to the high def. Now we just have two additional little areas. We've got some background noise in a number of scenes that, with today's technology, not 17-year-old technology, current technology,
right.
we can do a much better job on getting rid of some of that background noise. And then lastly, we had done some second unit shots, some transition shots, but again in standard def, and so now just maybe take advantage of the technology to just give a little the bells and whistles just a little nicer.
Great. And then we'll find a venue where we can, I mean, a venue online. Can you use that terminology? A venue online?
No, no, you cannot.
We will put it online and we'll let people know where it's at because a few people occasionally they're like, "Hey, what about Tall Trees? Where can I go to see it?" And I can't. I don't know where to tell them to go.
The answer is
I'll
nowhere.
tell them where to go.
That's right. I'll tell you where to go.
But yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad you decided to take that upon yourself to do, and I'm excited about it. Can I change topics a little bit? Open forum. Traveling. You mentioned that traveling is in your near future.
It's more than that.
Okay.
More than just travel. It's
what's
that
up?
I've been living in my home in San Francisco for 25 years. I've had my current roommates for 10 years. And we are not getting along anymore. You know, for 3, 4, 5 years, 3 years, it was going fine.
Kind of like what happened to us when we lived together, huh?
That's right. You lived in this apartment. You were a roommate in the
Two different times.
2 different times. See, it was so good, you had to come
I
back.
had to come back.
And you wonder why I'm trying to hold on to this place, but you know why. You came back twice.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I had a good time. You were a very good roommate.
Thank you, because and I agree, which is why it's so frustrating, because these guys don't think I'm a good roommate, and yet here I've got collaboration. I'm a very good roommate.
And I have a total of 8 years, and I think that trumps how long you've been roommates with them. You factor in the time you spent in Hawaii. I don't think you've been roommates with them for more than 8
That is true. That is true. No, because so I've been here 25 years. They've been here 10 years. But if we rewind the clock, I mean, there's a whole thing here. I mean, I thought I was doing something nice for a couple different people, so I arranged to leave the apartment, and I went to Hawaii for 4 years. 4 years. So, and then I moved back, and so I've been with them for 6 years. They were boyfriend and girlfriend when I left. They were married when I got back. And let me tell you this, to anybody who is in a roommate scenario or is going to be getting roommates, do not rent to a couple, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, or a married couple.
I'm going to write this down. Do not rent to boyfriend,
0
girlfriend
couples.
that could become married.
Legal or convenience, no couples. And here's why. And it didn't really occur to me. Like, at the time, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, you guys are great. Like, what could go wrong? Well, here's what goes wrong. They gang up on you. Period. That's all it is. They're a couple. It's 2 against 1.
All the time.
And there's no, like, if you got 3 roommates, 3 separate roommates, it's like, oh, this 2 will agree this time, and these 2 will agree that time, and this 2 will agree the other time. In a couple situation, it's always 2 against 1. There's never a time. Never time.
When me, you, and Gino lived there, it would be like, maybe it'd be me and Gino against you, right? But then it would be you and Gino against me, and then it'd be me and you against Gino. We'd mix it up.
Exactly, yeah.
All 3 of us in agreement. That is for sure.
Rarely.
But we didn't consistently team up to gang up on the other one.
Exactly. And that's just, normal life. Like, you're going to have disagreements. People are going to think one way and other people are going to think another way. And so it's just going to be, in general, it's a round robin. Okay. But when you live with a couple, it's no longer a round robin. You are always the bad guy. There is no situation where you're not the bad guy. So don't rent to couples. Wow, I guess you really took that to heart.
I'm about 90%. I just ate a bug. I didn't eat the bug. It was in my mouth. It got in my, I don't know, a little fly or something. Got in my water. Spit them out though.
Okay, good.
Well, moving on, Ken.
So that's where I'm at. It's like, I've been here 25 years. I want to stay here, but I can't have roommates anymore. And my roommates who want to have their own house don't want to have their own house for another 2, 3, 4 years. I can't do this anymore. And so, will they say, you know what, it's been a good ride, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
We're going to find our own place anyway, so let's go ahead and find our own place. Or are they going to say, dude, we live here, it's our home. If you're not happy, you can, there's the door.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. So this summer, I'm on the road. I'm getting out of Dodge. The question is, will I ever come back to Dodge? That's the question. I have no idea. I have no idea if I get to come back here.
Okay. So you're gonna get out of Dodge. You're gonna worry about coming back to Dodge later. But what are your plans about leaving Dodge?
Yeah, so it's a summer, obviously. And here's my theory. My theory is that we're at the end of COVID. I've got my 2 vaccination shots. I know you've got your 2 vaccination shots.
Yeah.
Around the world, places opening up, places shutting down. There's a lot of beautiful, incredible, fantastic places around the world that you want to see.
Now, are you thinking of going around the world or driving across country? I thought you were going to drive cross country. Are you going to do both? Drive around the world.
The world is my
Are we
answer,
talking
Dante.
planes, trains, and automobiles, Ken?
And automobiles.
Wow.
And maybe a ferry, a couple ferries in there. And I mean, yeah. So the thing is, I think that there's a window now where you can actually go to these giant. Actually, I probably shouldn't be telling people this because I want to go there by myself.
Yeah.
You can go to these giant tourist destinations where there won't be tourists.
Right.
And that hasn't happened for a long time. There's always tourists everywhere. But
Right.
not only that, because nobody's traveled for a year, I think a year from now, everything's going to be
Probably more crowded than ever.
than ever, and probably will be that way for 3 or 4 years. And so if I want to travel, if I want to see things, this is like my 4-month window.
So you see like a window of opportunity, like even if you went this summer, like, and where are you thinking internationally? Like Europe, Asia, Africa,
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking,
Latin America?
I'm thinking of the pyramids in Egypt, possibly Israel to see Jerusalem. I mean, I hear it's a nice city. Simply where the
I hear
origins
Tel
of 3
Aviv is
religions.
a great party town, but so maybe Jerusalem, then hit Tel Aviv for at least a long weekend.
Okay, there we go. And then obviously Europe. I mean, and I've never been. I'm a quarter Scandinavian. I've never been. I've been to Europe before, but never above France. And so
Do you want to get in touch with your Scandinavian roots? I know you, Scandinavian Americans, how you a lot of pride there.
That's right. So so it'd be great to head up to Sweden, Norway, Denmark, that kind of thing. I know Denmark is below Sweden and Norway. I just wanted to throw it in.
Well, is Denmark officially? Yeah, it's Scandinavian. Iceland, do they include that in Scandinavia?
That's a good question. I don't.
Gotta look into
You'd
that.
think it would be. You'd think it would be, but I don't know.
But we'll look in it. It'll be in the banner below.
Okay.
But elsewhere in Europe, are there other places you wanna hit?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Paris is a madhouse. London, typically a madhouse. Paris, typically a madhouse. So hitting up the Louvre without standing in line for 2 hours would be nice.
Yeah, the Louvre. The Louvre is the most famous museum in the world, and probably rightfully so. It deserves that moniker because it has the Mona Lisa and it has a crap load of other stuff. And the Mona Lisa, and you've been there. Maybe we even went together. I don't know. Did we go to the? For people who might not know, Ken and I traveled to Europe for a little bit back in 1997. But did we go to the Louvre together? I don't recall.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
But with the Mona Lisa, what's interesting, you go there and you're looking for the Mona Lisa. Everybody goes there looking for the Mona Lisa. And you go by one painting after another that are huge, like 10 feet by 8 feet, 15 feet by 12 feet. And you get to the Mona Lisa, or even before you get there, you see a crowd of people hanging
Yeah.
around it. And it's a little painting. It's a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, the thing is, like when you go to see the Mona Lisa, like you don't see the Mona Lisa. You see 24 heads or 4 heads, and then you go, "Oh, is there a picture past there?" And then you kind of like weave your way up there. It's like, "Oh yeah, it's a oh look, the Mona Lisa."
When I went, you kind of like there was almost like a little line that formed to get close to it. Maybe take a photo, or maybe you couldn't take a photo, but there was a line you wait till you're finally that person. Nobody closer to you and the Mona Lisa than you for 10 seconds before you have to leave. And it's a cool thing. You're there and you're looking at the Mona Lisa and you're 5 feet away and you're like, that's the Mona Lisa.
That's the Mona Lisa.
I would say about a third of the trip we traveled together, and then about 2/3, at least for me, because I stayed longer than you. I was kind of on my own. But I was going from Barcelona to Sevilla like overnight. And it's kind of a long trip, and I'm like, okay, on the way is Madrid. I'll stop in Madrid for a couple of hours and I'll go to this museum. I don't know the name of it at the moment. I don't think it was the main museum in Madrid, but this other museum, and I'm gonna see the Guernica, right? Picasso's Guernica, because I love the line. Franco goes, "Are you the person responsible for this painting?" And then Picasso said, "No, you are." And the painting, of course, is full. Their eyes are blown up, and their limbs are all over the place. Before I heard that,
Now, we should tell the folks that actually you're also infatuated with Guernica. Now, I don't know if it's Guernica or Guernica. I always thought it was Guernica. Maybe you're trying to, like, appeal to the highbrows in the audience.
usually I do that, but
But, like, in where I live in Coal Valley, you go down Stanton Street and there's a bicycle shop, and they had a mural of Guernica on a wall of the bicycle shop,
okay, and
just 2 blocks from our place.
right. But it's kind of like talking about the Mona Lisa earlier. You can, if you had the exact replica of the Mona Lisa, it would have no meaning. But standing 5 feet across from the actual real Mona Lisa has meaning. But anyway, I'm reading my Lonely Planet I'm cutting across Europe, and I'm reading about Guernica, and I'm like, yeah, great. Now I have a reason to stop in Madrid because I think I had a 2-hour layover anyway. So now I have a reason for it. And I'm gonna go to Guernica, gonna check out Guernica, and then I read at the bottom, but don't go on Tuesday because they're closed every Tuesday. And I'm like, and when you're traveling, you have no idea what day it is, so you think for a minute, today it's Tuesday. I was bummed, but I'm thinking, I'll be going back to Europe in a couple of years, and I will make it a point to see Guernica. But I've not been back in 24 years. What's the moral to the story, Ken?
Go back to Europe.
No, I mean, that's good, but I think the moral to the story is when you travel, assume you're never coming back.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
Live like you're gonna do it once, so do it right. See everything, do everything. Don't leave with any gas in the tank.
Don't wait till next time, because next time may never come.
Exactly.
But yeah, all right, and we'll meet back here tomorrow because we got a big television show to watch.
Big day tomorrow, and well, we'll leave it at that.
All right.
Adios, amigo.
All right, we'll see you.
Take care. Bye.